Hi everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on today's Facebook Live. I'm Tricia Sloma, and it is Wednesday. This is when we share the stories of children who are in need of adoption. These are kids who are currently in foster care. Many of them are teenagers in care of the states of Indiana or in Michigan. And some years ago in 2020, we started this segment where we are highlighting one story at a time every Wednesday, just picking a child. These have been stories that are shared to us from DCS or, in the case of Michigan, through Grant Me Hope. These stories are of kids who have been in the foster care system or been in the care of the state for years. Their parents' rights have been terminated. They don't have a path of adoption through another family member. So they are in need of adoption. They are at risk of aging out of the system and then being perhaps homeless by the time they reach adulthood. So this is perhaps helping these kids find a home, and that's what we do here. So let's get into it. I want to share the stories of our children who are in need of adoption, and we have a number of kids. Today we shared this story of a 13-year-old named Jordan. He's in 8th grade. You see him handling some snakes. Clearly, he's a brave kid. I know I couldn't handle a snake. His story was sent to us from Grant Me Hope in Michigan, and our thanks to them. We know Barb is probably watching. Barb Aldering helps us with these stories. They get to meet these kids, and then they put these stories together and they share them with us. They work with other TV stations across Michigan as well. Now, Jordan is 13. He likes playing board games. He likes playing video games. He wants to be a mechanic someday, and he thinks he would be really good at it. He's very hands-on. And again, he's not afraid to touch creepy crawly animals. So that's a remarkable skill. But anyway, Jordan is our Wednesday's Child Story. We aired it this morning on our morning show this morning. It's going to run tonight just before 6, so we certainly hope you'll take a moment and watch Jordan's story. Also, you could share Jordan's story after it airs. We have it available on our website, WNDU.com. Actually, that's where you'll find several of our stories, our Wednesday's Child Stories, that we are able to share not only on TV, but also when it gets shared on Facebook and people catch wind of it. They may be in other parts of the country or other parts of the state, and they're able to maybe it piques their interest of something that they have been wanting to do. Maybe it's fostering children or adopting from foster care. So I do want to share the story of 10-year-old Daniel. 10-year-old Daniel is a boy that I met at the Croc Center. We were able to, our great partners at the Croc Center, they have this kid zone, and it's really fun. You can play video games and kind of arcade games down there. They have arts and crafts, different things available. And what's really fun is when I get to meet these kids and interview them, I get to put those stories together for Indiana, and 10-year-old Daniel was just such a sweetheart. I want to share his story now. Let's make sure that I have the right list here for you. This is Daniel. Pay attention closely because he's quite a kid. This is Daniel. He's 10 years old, and he's in need of adoption. Daniel came prepared for our interview.
I like the color blue. I love beef ramen noodles. I am silly and I like to be a kid.
He's a kid who needs new parents. Daniel says they have an important job.
They help you out through life, and whenever you make a mistake, they tell you what you need to do better next time.
Here's something he doesn't need a lot of help on: Legos.
It's something called Ninjago. The instructions aren't really hard.
What is hard is being in foster care when all Daniel wants is a new family.
Because being without a family just makes me wonder when I'll have a family.
He's already dreaming about how this could change his life.
If I get adoption, somewhere close to my school that I am at right now, then I'll still have the same friends, and I might be able to make some more friends too.
Oh, isn't he a sweetheart? That's 10-year-old Daniel, and he is available for adoption. Now, Daniel is somebody that just, when you meet him, he just is so affectionate, so sweet, so kind, so loving. He is in need of adoption. He has biological siblings who have already been adopted. So can you imagine knowing that your younger siblings were adopted? You were not adopted. So you're just waiting. And you heard him say in that piece, I don't know when I'm going to get a family. These are the kind of worries that these kids have. Think about your own kids, what they've worried about day to day. They're worried about whether or not they're going to, be able to have outdoor recess. They're worried about whether or not they're going to have a spelling test, whether it's a pop quiz today. Daniel's worried about whether he's ever going to find a family. These are the kind of things these kids worry about. So we certainly hope we can get Daniel a family. He is a kid who is waiting on the waiting list for Indiana Adoption Services. So what you need to do is you can go to our website, WNDU.com. This is where you'll find Daniel's story. You'll also find Jordan's story, the story that runs tonight just before 6. These kids, their stories are waiting for you at WNDU.com. You can share the stories. You can find all the other kids. If you're interested in maybe becoming a foster parent, there are resources there that you can check out. From each story, we have links in the body on our website that get you to either Indiana Adoption Program or Michigan Adoption Resource Exchange or Grant Me Hope. All of them have great resources on their websites, links that you can click that will help you get into contact with either a foster service, a foster agency, or perhaps just learn more about these kids, learn more about the process of adoption from foster care. As far as costs are involved, it is a low cost. It's often very low because they are working through the state resources to be able to help get these kids adopted. That's the process. That's the hope. It is not a money-making scheme at all for the state, for sure. So this is a way that you can, if it has been financial reasons that have kept you from going through traditional adoption services, perhaps adoption from foster care is something that would be more financially available to you for your family. Some things to consider, and we certainly hope you'll consider adoption from foster care or fostering for your family. We are always trying to help these kids get adopted. On Wednesdays is when you'll see our Wednesday's Child Stories. We are running them right here on Channel 16, but of course we are running them on our website all the time, so you can find them there 24/7. Thank you for joining us today on our Facebook Live. Have a great Wednesday, everyone.